I'm doing my Rangahau paper from home today because unfortunately I can't be in class. But I'm not sure if I got this right exactly, but hopefully I did. But anyway, I worked on my Rangahau paper with Tish and also with Nika. Cool. So me, Tish and Nika decided to do our Rangahau question based on culture. We all took a different angle, but based on the same topic. For my Rangahau question, I did why is it important to incorporate culture into Māori students' learning? This one is the definition of culture, a way of life, the customs and beliefs and art and social organization of a particular country or group, European, Islamic, African American, etc. And that is from the Oxford Dictionary. So the brainstorming, this is my brainstorming process, and that's it there. So literature. So for my literature, I wanted to pick 3 readings that were based around culture being used, or Māori culture being used in the classroom or in education. So that's what I was kind of looking for when I was looking for my readings. The position that I took was the position of a researcher, researching about the topic, researching about others who have also thought about the same thing. Have also thought about the same thing about Māori being important, or maybe those who thought Māori wasn't important. I also took the position of being a student teacher, so what I observe on practicums, do I see it implemented in the classrooms or in the practicums that I'm going on? If I do, maybe those are things that I could put into my kete and use in the future when I do become a beginning teacher. Or if I didn't see it in the classrooms, how would I implement that for future use? Method, I used the method of qualitative and quantitative research for my Kaupapa Rangahau question. Keywords, negative and positive effects of culture being incorporated into students' learning, and approaches and strategies. Stakeholders, the direct stakeholders I said would be Māori students, because that's who I'm directly targeting. And I also put teachers or current teachers. I put current teachers because I feel like they're directly affected if I'm looking at, if my Rangahau question is looking at how education is being incorporated into the classrooms, how Māori, culture is being incorporated into the classrooms or learning, then how that would affect the teacher's teaching style. Indirect stakeholders, I put principals, as whānau, family, and the community. It's their child who's in that school may be the direct stakeholder, therefore they are indirectly affected. Practicum observations in Gladstone Primary, I found that they used Māori language. They used steak and cheese pie, whakarongo mai, to get the students' attention. So they used whakarongo mai. They used, in the classroom that I was in, the AT used, she used to play a Māori song for the students, and they would learn the colours of Māori. She used Māori mythology as well, using books like Maui and the Sun. Avondale, they didn't have much culture within the classroom, although they did have more Māori students at that school. They did have a block that was based around Māori once a week. That was like a 20-minute period, but by the time the students went back the next week, they couldn't remember from the previous week before. Mangere Central, they started off the day with karakia, ended with karakia. The AT that I was with also used Te Whare a Tapawha, but only in her classroom. I found that was used. for my abstract, I found that my abstract would change. Oops. Yeah, so I found that my abstract would change because I feel like you can't really write an abstract without having your full proposal. But if I was to look at my abstract, this is what I would want to include to answer my Rangahau question. The sense of belonging and pupils being able to understand their cultural identity and why it is important. And to look at the differences between schools that do use Māori concepts and those that don't use Māori concepts within mainstream schools. And as a result, what the difference is between the student success and why. So those are some of the things that I want to add. Probably it's going to change as I continue to do my Rangahau question. Rationale why. So why I decided to pick this topic or this kaupapa. So I wanted to pick a kaupapa that I strongly related to or something that I felt passionate about. And I feel like myself, I struggled with understanding fully about my culture, but I do believe that it's important to embrace that side, and I do believe that it also helps with other Māori students as well. So that's kind of why I wanted to do it, and I realized that a lot of Māori have struggled with academic success and the loss of cultural identity. And I believe if Māori culture is incorporated into the classroom, this could allow them to have a sense of belonging again, and would increase the achievement of Māori students overall. I believe that it will empower Māori students to achieve their goals and aspire to further their skills in life.